Now, before we get this video started, I want to give a congratulations to Jimmy Butler and the Heat for getting the win shorthanded against the Lakers in Game 2. And let's get right into it. Now, I've seen a trend recently. I never really paid too much attention to the coaching before the last couple years, so I don't know if this has been a thing for a while. But definitely in the last few years, I've seen a lot of coaching changes from teams. This is more of an unscripted, just talking video, and it's going to be a bit shorter than my normal videos probably, but I think it's something that needs to be brought to attention, that your coach is not the source of all your problems, and firing your coach will not fix all your problems. I really think that teams will fire the head coach as a way to please their fans, because the fans always need a reason of why they're losing. They need something to blame. They need a scapegoat. And coaches are an easy thing where they can just fire them, and it generally won't get fans mad, because generally fans don't have a connection with their coach, especially if it's not an exceptional coach. But I think that is just hiding from your problems. That is just running away from your problems, because sometimes you're fixing things, but most of the time you're just pleasing your fans temporarily until the next season, when you don't really fix anything, and just changing a coach will not make your team any better, usually, unless you get a legendary coach, a really good coach. But I really think it's a trend that needs to stop, because I just feel pretty bad for the coaches who are coaching for a few years but are the blame of all the problems by the front office and by the fans, and end up not having a job because of that. Now, this year there's been a lot of coaching changes, and that is what really made me want to make a video about this, especially with the most recent one of Doc Rivers getting fired from the Clippers and now on the 76ers. So this year we've had Billy Donovan, Doc Rivers, Jim Boylan, Kenny Atkinson, Brett Brown, Nate McMillan, Mike D'Antoni, and Alvin Gentry all part ways with their team, whether that was doing it themselves or being fired. That is a really large amount of coaches for the highest level of basketball. You wouldn't expect to see that much coaching change, and I think it's kind of a dumb trend that's going on right now, because in the case of Doc Rivers and Jim Boylan, and possibly Billy Donovan, they deserved that. They were not doing the best job. But in most of the coaches who have changed, it's just, in my opinion, it's a way for the front office to please the fans. And I don't think that should be happening. I think it should be something where you actually confront your problems. It was what we saw in Minnesota when the Wolves fired Thibodeau because he couldn't handle the Butler, Karl-Anthony Towns, Wiggins situation. That was not at all his fault. The reason Butler didn't get along with Towns and Wiggins is because they were not hard workers. So they naturally were going to have conflict, and Butler just did not appreciate it there because they were not working hard. Karl-Anthony Towns at the time was streaming Fortnite instead of practicing, which is what Butler would have wanted to see him do. At the end of the day, if they really wanted to fix their problems, it would have been to probably trade Cat or Wiggins or both, or Butler maybe. And firing Thibodeau, Butler just leaves. There's no conflict in the locker room now. But how many games are they winning now without a real winner? Barely any. So the coach really was not a fix for their problems. And I feel like I'm starting to see that more and more and more, where you get a new coach, sure, they might be a good coach, but are they really going to fix your problems? Billy Donovan is obviously definitely better than Jim Boylan as a coach. He'll be able to run a better system for the players on the Bulls. But does that mean that he's just going to make the team better? They're magically going to not be a lottery team anymore? No. They need to fix other problems with the team. In that case, I think a lot of that is just developing their young players. In the case of the Rockets, D'Antoni left intentionally. I think that was a good move, because a lot of people thought that they just needed a change. and I think he could be useful in other places. I think he's a good coach. I think with the Sixers, with Brett Brown, replacing him with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, no coach can fix the problem. No coach, not Phil Jackson. They need to trade someone. And Doc Rivers is not in control of the trades. I don't know why people are saying Doc Rivers is going to trade Ben Simmons, Doc Rivers is going to trade whoever. He has no control over anything. He can talk to the manager, but he has no control. He's a coach. And I think the Sixers, I'm going to go more in depth in this in the future. I'm going to make a video on this. They need to make some big moves. And in my opinion, and a lot of people's, that involves trading Ben Simmons. And obviously, that's a talk for another day. And I feel like I've said most of what I need to say this video. It was not scripted, so it's probably going to not get as many views as most of my videos. But if you did watch this whole video, and you're listening right now, thank you. Be sure to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe, because most of my videos will be higher quality than this. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.